We don't have those details yet. No. It's very, very preliminary, very sketchy at this point, not really much more than what we had before, other than the fact that she does seem to recall the incident. She's made a few statements about some of the things we already know about suspects, number of suspects, those types of things. That's about all we've gotten so far. But she has been able to communicate to us that she remembers the incident. She remembers what happened. We haven't gotten into why or more specific details. I think that will come in the days and weeks to come.
She talked about 4 or 5.
Correct. At least 4 or 5 suspects.
And there could have been more.
There could have been more, yes.
Did she tell you the race of those suspects?
No, not yet.
Did she say any words that were exchanged before the attack?
That we don't know.
Did she give you any idea what the motive for this attack was?
No motive, no additional suspect description other than what we already have so far. But the mere fact that she remembers that and that she remembers the incident, I think in time will lead us to that answer. There's still a lot of unanswered questions. I do believe she recalls more than she's able to verbalize and communicate right now.
I mean, did they come after her first, or their husband first, or both at the same time?
We don't have those details right now. Literally, what I'm telling you is exactly where we are with this right now. Is exactly all we've gotten from her at this time. Will we get more? Yes, I think so in the coming days and weeks. But all we have so far is just what I've told you to this point.
Is she comprehending everything? She is aware how critical and crucial she is to this investigation?
Oh, I'm sure. And I believe that, like I said a minute ago, I think she's frustrated with not being able to move this along faster. But there's medical reasons, and there's doctors there, and there's reasons why you can't just sit there and carry on a 2-hour interview. It just doesn't work that way. So part of that, seeing that frustration, I think, helps us to know also that she recalls this. She's willing to work with us. She wants to work with us as quickly as possible. But we all know, I think her included, that we have to take this very slow, and her well-being at this point is critical.
Regarding the behavioral profile that's going to come out later today, I know we can't talk too much about it. Can we talk a little bit about it? Like why you're putting that out, and is that being put out because you think the suspects are going to start slipping out?
Well, we certainly hope so. The profile really is for other people more so than for the suspects themselves. It's for friends, for family, for people who may know who these people are, and the things that we look for and ask for the changes in behavior, changes in what normally were their normal routines. Maybe they've never really pay much attention to the news, but now all of a sudden there's a tremendous amount of interest in this case and the details about this case. Even things as simple as increased level of alcohol use or drug use or complete change in habits. People they used to hang around with, they don't socialize with anymore. They don't talk to family. They have become a little more reclusive. Any dramatic shift in behavior sometimes indicates either criminal activity or shift in, we even say the same thing sometimes with parents to watch out for the kids when their habits change. That means they've changed direction in their life. And those are some of the indicators that family members or friends or coworkers look for in someone who may have been involved in something like this, that they exhibit some of the similar behaviors. And that's kind of why we try to put that out for, not so much for the suspects as much as it is for friends or family or coworkers, someone who knows these folks that may see some of this behavior, especially the part about the cases, having a tremendous interest in the details of a case when they normally don't do that type of thing. So those are the kind of things that, the reason that's being put out there.
Knowing what you know now, Sheriff, does this case have gang-like characteristics to it?
It's hard to say. Yes, in some cases. Sometimes you see initiations that are violent, that are brutal, that make a statement. Usually when you do have that, though, you have statements being made in the community or publicly. If they can't brag about it, it doesn't do them much good. And we don't have that. We don't have situations where there's been a lot of talk about it. There's been talk on the street, so to speak, about this occurring. And usually with a gang, you're going to have that. You're going to have the bragging and the sensationalism of it all, and we haven't seen that. Is it a possibility? Yes, it's a possibility. Not as likely but it is a possibility.
But 4 or 5 suspects involved in this vicious attack. What
Well,
would the other thing be?
Motive is the thing we're looking for. Motive is the thing we don't know. Why? Why did this happen? Who chose? Usually, with this degree of violence, there's hatred, there's emotion, there's passion, there's some reason why someone goes to this degree of punishment, if you will, or injury to someone, and what's there? What caused this? What prompted this? There's a number of different possibilities, but unfortunately, we can't look at one thing and say it's this or it's that, and that's the frustrating part of this whole thing, because of the degree of violence and the degree of emotion or hatred, if you will, that played a part in this. It's confusing at this point.
Did she mention anything about a weapon, a hammer, a knife, a club, a bat, anything at all? Is it just bare hands that were attacked with?
Nothing else has been discussed and gone over with her any further than that. Nothing's been mentioned. No weapons have been mentioned. No weapons have been found at this point. So
What does the medical examiner say?
I don't know that we have everything back from them as far as any toxicology results and things like that. So until we get to that point, I probably won't comment on where they are.
How much time at a time are officers able to spend with Cynthia? Is it a couple minutes?
It's a few minutes at a time. Yes, and that's why I think that it's going to take some time to get to where we need to go with this, and
Sort of clarify in the beginning real quick. There's no reason to believe that it was anything more than a random attack? Is that what I heard?
Well, at this point, we're not 100% sure whether it was random or targeted. We feel it's probably more likely random than not, which is obviously a big concern to us and to the public as well. Now, there's still the possibility, were they targeted for some other reason? Is it something local? Did they witness something? Is there a possibility of being targeted in that respect? Yes. The bigger government conspiracy theory, I think, is probably less likely to be the reality than something more local. But we're certainly looking at everything. Nothing, until we know for sure, nothing's off the table.
Any reason to believe that the suspects have returned to the crime scene, left anything there?
Had no idea.
We keep seeing investigators out there looking through things. Is that just...
Well, we're looking and hoping. We're spending a lot of time there. We spend a lot of time in the community. We're re-interviewing people we've talked to previously. Any little piece that might be missing, that they remember now, a week later that they didn't remember then. And we're still asking for anyone with any information, or they might have seen or heard something. Maybe they heard something on the street, for example, or some rumor, or I heard this from so-and-so the other day. Give us a call. Let's flush it out, see if it's reality or not. If it's something we've already heard, fine. At least we know. At least you know. Any little tidbit of information, there could be that little piece that we're looking for, and that's what we're looking for right now is pieces. So anybody who might have some tidbit of information that they haven't shared yet, or that they've thought of something that they may think is insignificant maybe, give us a call. Let us figure out whether it's significant or not.